All right, we're back. Fresh off after UFC 302. I'm not going to lie. I did not think Dustin Poirier was going to do so good. I thought he was just going to get smoked. Islam's people are coming out and saying he had staph infection. I don't know if that is true. Um, if that is the case, that's crazy that they still took the fight, with staph, because Benoit Saint Denis really had staph. You could see, like a bullet hole in his head. That was legit staph. Islam's, we don't know. They're saying it was staph, but, we really can't confirm that. But I don't know why they would lie, especially his coaches, Javier Mendez and those guys. But if that is the case and he did have staph, and he still won the fight, that just shows you how big of a savage Islam is. But, man, Poirier looked good. Takedown defense looked good. Striking looked okay. I thought, I had it 3-1 going into the fifth round, and then, he got finished, and there's no controversy there. Clean Dars finished the fight, and now, I'll tell you right now, though, if Arman Sarukian fights the Islam that showed up last week, I'll tell you right now, I'll take Arman Sarukian in that fight. If that same Islam that showed up to fight Poirier fights Arman Sarukian gonna whoop that boy. I'll tell you that right now. I'd like to see the odds for that as well, because I don't think Makhachev's gonna be as big as a favorite as he once was, just because of recency bias and how he looked against Dustin Poirier. This weekend, we got Jared Cannonier, the Killer Gorilla, taking on Nasruddin Imavov. Incredible fight. I really like this fight. This is interesting, right? Because Nasruddin Imavov, he's a very good striker, but he's also a very good grappler as well. Jared Cannonier, he's got decent grappling skills, but, he's known for just standing and banging. He's got heavy power in his hands, knocks people senseless. Issue is he's getting up there in age, 40 years old, if you see here. When is that time going to come where, he's on the downhill, right? And it's clear from the odds makers as well, because if this fight took place maybe 2 years ago, I would say Cannonier would be the favorite. And now this is pretty much even odds. Last time I checked, it was pretty much dead even. Plus 100 for Cannonier. And, it was like minus 120 here. It's minus 135 for Imavov. So let's break it down. If it stays on the feet, it's going to be very competitive, because Imavov's a very technical striker. He doesn't have the same power as a Cannonier. So I'm sort of leaning, if it's a striking match, I'm sort of leaning slightly towards Cannonier, but by not much. If it goes to the ground, Imavov's all day. Imavov has good takedowns too. He likes to strike, but, against the Cannonier, he might have to start mixing it up. Age advantage as well, 29 years of age, so he's in his prime. I'm going to go with Imavov just because of the fact he's a little more well-rounded, and if he has some trouble on the feet, he can take it down, right? So that's what I'm leaning towards, Imavov. But Cannonier is a fucking dog in this one. Excuse my language. Cannonier is a great pick, because he might be able to get it done. Up next, co-main event, Dominic Reyes. He's back in the mix, taking on my boy Dustin Jacoby. Man, I've always liked Dustin Jacoby, even though I know he's lost 3 out of his last 4. He lost that split decision to Roundtree. Some people thought he won. Then Mirzakhanov, pieced him up a bit. Beat Kennedy and Jekwu, and then Alonzo Menafield won that decision. I just think it's a bad matchup for Reyes, because Reyes likes to strike. And now you're going in there with a, super high-level kickboxer in Dustin Jacoby. You're coming off 4 straight losses, 2 of them being, knockout finishes. Prohatzka put him away with that elbow. And, Spann just knocked him out with a jab. I don't know if the chin recovers. I hope it does, because he took a couple years off. Hopefully that chin's recovered, because Dustin Jacoby's going to test that chin. I'm going Jacoby on this one. I think he gets it done by finish, first or second round. Up next, the youngest person on the UFC roster, and Raul Rosas Jr. He came into the UFC at like 17, crazy. And, he looked good his last fight, beat Terrence Mitchell. The thing is, when you're 19, every single fight you're going to see huge improvements. You wait till this kid's 23, 24, and all the experience he's going to have, he's going to be insane. They just got to keep matching him accordingly, and I think they're doing exactly that here. Ricky Tercios, he's all right. He's coming off a win over Kevin Nativad, but, his last fight before that, he lost to Faraz Zahabi's brother, Ayman Zahabi. Not too impressed with his ability here, and I think Raul Rosas Jr. should get the job done here. So I'll go with Raul Rosas Jr. on this one. This one's interesting. Bruno Ferreira. This guy's a savage. Bruno Ferreira is a savage. I first realized how big of a savage he was when he knocked out the RoboCop Gregory Rodriguez. He knocked him out in the first round, and I was like, oh my God, this guy is insane because RoboCop's a savage. Likes to strike, likes to knock people out. And I know he did get knocked out against Nursultan, the guy who just lost to Joaquin Buckley. But take that fight out of the picture. The guy's, other than that Nursultan fight, he's been flawless, man. He's been knocking everybody out in the first round, second round. The guy's been just destroying people, man. In the first, he even knocked out Phil Hawes in the first round. I know Phil Hawes on a losing streak, but I like Bruno Ferreira in this one. So Dustin Stolfitz, he's 2-2 in his last 4. Lost to Gerald Meerschaert. Not impressed losing to a guy like Gerald Meerschaert. And lost to Abus Magomedov. All right, that was quick though. 19 seconds in. I think Bruno Ferreira is gonna finish this boy early. So I'm taking Bruno all day on that one. I think he gets it done. Up next, you got Julian Marquez. 2 straight losses for Julian Marquez. He's not looking good, and his last win was over Smiling Sam Alvey. And he is a slight favorite in this one, taking on Zachary Reese. Zachary Reese is... He's got a couple decent wins. I believe this is actually a rematch. Is this fight even... I think this fight might be canceled. I'm just checking here. This fight might be canceled. I think they're saying he's fighting Joe Pfeiffer as Zachary Reese. No. Let me see here. Sorry, so Zach Reese coming off a loss to Cody Brundage. And Cody Brundage, he's the boy who just fought our boy Bo Nickel. So he lost to Cody Brundage. Now is his first fight in the UFC. He had one fight on the Contender Series, taking on a guy like Julian Marquez. Yeah, I'm going to go with the experienced guy on this one. Julian Marquez just got way more experience in the show. So I'll go with Julian Marquez on that one, even though he's not looking too great these days. All right, Miguel Beza. Caramel Thunder, coming off 3 straight losses. I don't know about this one. Even losing to Andre Fiallo, got knocked out by Fiallo, and he's a slight favorite going into this fight against Punahele Soriano. Soriano, on the other hand, he's coming off some losses as well. Lost to Stoltfitz, who's fighting, in the card. Roman Kopylov finished him. Nick Maximov beat him. Brendan Allen, these guys, I don't know why they're in the UFC, to be honest. If you got 4 losses in your last 5 fights over guys who are like 50-50 fighters, man, it doesn't look so good. I'll take this fight to go decision because I don't even want to pick a fighter in this one. That's how bad this fight is. Up next, Thiago Moises. This one's interesting. Why is this one on the prelims? I'd like to see this card on the main card because this is a good fight, man. Thiago Moises is for real. He's got some, he's fought some good dudes, man. Beat Bobby Green, beat Alexander Hernandez, lost to Islam Makhachev. Okay, no shame losing to the number 1 guy. Lost to Benoit Saint Denis. But, his last fight looked good. Beat Mitch Ramirez. Now he's taking a little step down in competition, taking on the Slovakian Ludovit Klein, who's on a nice little win streak. After that loss to Nate Lander, he's been, he's racked up a couple good wins here. I just don't think he's fighting the same level of competition as a Thiago Moises. But Thiago Moises is not looking the same. But maybe he's not looking the same because he's fighting, Islams and Benoit Saint Denis. Now he's fighting an easier fight. I think I'm going to go with the underdog on this one. I'll go with Thiago Moises. Brad Katona taking on Jesse Butler. Brad Katona fresh off that Ultimate Fighter. I'll take Brad Katona. I think he had one fight actually after the Ultimate Fighter he won. So I'll go with Brad Katona on that one. And the last one I'm going to touch on here is Cody Stamann taking on Taylor Lapoulieu, the Frenchman. Probably pronounced that incorrectly, but whatever. Cody Stamann, he's had some tough fights, man, against top guys. Merab Dvalishvili being one of them. Lost to him, lost to Said Nurmagomedov. Lost his last fight to Douglas Silva de Andrade. Now he's fighting, Taylor. Tough fight, too, because Taylor had a hard fight with Farid Basharat, the Basharat Bros, those Afghani brothers. They're nuts. Been telling you guys about those guys. They're insane. Basharat beat Taylor last fight, but I think Taylor's going to get this one done, so I'm slightly leaning towards Taylor on this one. And if you guys need a place to bet, BetUS, promo code Iceman. Let's make that money because we out here, bro. We need to make that money. Out.